Welcome back to Financial Freedom 101. I'm your host, Robert, and this is episode 28. Since starting the podcast back up a few weeks ago, we have talked about a range of topics, everything from what we think success is, to evaluating the root causes of roadblocks, to surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals. While these topics all appear to be separate and distinct from one another, if you go back and really listen to each episode, you will actually realize that there is an underlying theme that is common to all of them. That theme? Your mindset. Just so happens to also be the topic of today's episode. To truly succeed, you need to evaluate the way you are looking at and thinking about the opportunities that are presented to you. In fact, by changing your mindset, you can actually start to see all of the opportunities that are right in front of you, but you fail to notice due to your mindset. Having the right mindset is the key to success in any venture you do. This is exactly why mindset was a primary topic of one of our first podcasts, and it comprises pretty much 100% of the first module in our Wolfpack Academy. The way you look at a situation determines the opportunities that you experience. Most of you have probably seen, at least heard of, Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant, in which he explains the differences between the employee, the self-employed, the business owner, and the investor's mindset. On the left side of the quadrant, you have the employee and self-employed. He talks about how their mindset centers around the need to work for their money. If they don't work, they don't earn. On the right side of the quadrant, you have the business owner and investor. Their mindset is centered around how to make their money work for them. Those individuals on the right side look at the processes and own systems that will allow them to make money even if they do not work. They put their money to work for them. What got me thinking about this topic was a post that I saw on one of the property-related Facebook groups that I'm a member of. The post was a simple post that gave information about an investment property the individual owned. Based on the post and the information I was able to extrapolate from it, the property was mortgaged and valued at around £110,000 and was making approximately £700 of rent per month, with a net profit of around £100 to £150. His question was, while he was making upwards of £150 each month, should he look at paying off his mortgage and save himself almost $600 in mortgage payments and other fees, or should he keep the mortgage? From the outside, if he has £90,000 to pay off this mortgage, assuming he put about 20% down on the house, most people would think this would be a no-brainer. If he paid off the mortgage, he would be bringing in £600+ per month instead of the current £100 to £150. That's a 6-fold increase over his current profit. However, this is coming from the mindset of the left side of the cash flow quadrant. Yes, £600 per month is great, but what opportunities is he missing by spending this $90,000 to pay off the mortgage? Those on the right side of the quadrant are looking at how best to make their money work for them and would know that the £90,000 could make you so much more money if it's used differently. Why not take that money and put 20% down on 4 additional £100,000 properties, each bringing in approximately £100 to £150 per month of net profit? That now gives you 5 properties with a total net profit of around £500 to £700 per month. While this is the same amount as he could receive if he paid off the original property, he would now own 5 properties that can all experience some level of appreciation. Let's also not forget that there's that possibility for rent increases in the future for all the properties as well. A £50 rent increase would only net him £50 if he kept the one property, but it would net him about £250 if he purchased the 4 additional properties. That's a big opportunity cost if you ask me. Now, what if he used one of those 4 additional properties to maybe do a holiday let or a service accommodation? By doing this, he could potentially make enough money from one property to pay for the mortgage for all 5 properties each month, further compounding his profit margin. I know there are a number of people out there who are probably thinking this isn't really a good example of changing your mindset to find opportunities, as all you really need to understand with this example is a few simple investment calculations. While that may be true, it's a good beginner step to helping one person change their mindset. As we spoke about in episode 26, small changes can have huge impacts. By changing the way you look at debts and assets, i.e. the mortgage and additional properties in the last example, you will start opening your eyes to new opportunities. One of my buddies runs a successful property business in the U.S. and is always looking for ways to make his money work for him. Most recently, he announced that he was going to take a 1 to 2 month long vacation with his entire family. I don't know about you, but just thinking about doing something like that makes me cringe, as I can envision how quickly my bank account would be depleted. However, he was actually making money by taking his vacation. Prior to leaving, he was able to evaluate the demand for Airbnb in his area and realized that by renting his house while he was out on vacation, just for the month, even 2 weeks of his vacation, he would make enough to pay for the entire vacation itself and then some. The longer he was able to book his house, the longer he could stay on vacation and the more money he would actually make. As another example, I have an acquaintance. He lives in Florida and runs a property investment there himself. He got an idea from another person who was actually joking about having a great business opportunity that would allow him to buy something he wanted to own ever since he was a kid. That idea? Buy an airplane and learn to fly. But wait, how could buying an airplane and learning to fly be a great business opportunity? Aren't airplanes expensive to own and operate? Well, that's just it. If you changed your mindset and the way you look at situations, the answer to this question changes from yes to no. Think about it. In order to learn to fly, you have to have an airplane available to fly. While some flying schools have airplanes to rent, members of the Aero Club, where those flight training schools are at, can actually rent their airplanes to the flying school for use when they are not using it. Renting the airplane for 2 to 3 days a month would not only pay the loan used to buy the plane, but would also help to start paying the cost to maintain the plane. Renting the plane for more days will leave you with money to pay not only for the maintenance and upkeep of the airplane, but for your flight training as well. Seriously, who actually would take their own private plane out for 27, 28 days out of a month? Well, you only need to rent it out for 2 to 3 days to have all your fees associated with that airplane paid for. It's likely that you will be renting it out a lot more than that. And that's exactly what this acquaintance does. Even after getting his pilot's license, he continues to rent the plane out to the Aero Club when he is not flying around Florida checking on his properties. The income generated from renting that plane to the Aero Club is not only paying for the plane, but also the cost associated for him to fly around the state of Florida. To take it one step further, he can even qualify for tax breaks as the primary use of the airplane is for business purposes. Not a bad deal if you ask me. Now, these are just a few examples of how changing your mindset allows you to take advantage of the different opportunities that are out there. But if there are so many opportunities, why isn't everybody taking advantage of them? I know a ton of people who would love to own their own airplane, but don't. If they want to own their own airplane, why wouldn't they just do something similar as what I mentioned in the last example? Well, one of the biggest reasons people fail to see opportunities that are right in front of them is because they are scared. They are scared to fail. They are scared to take a risk, or they are scared to step out of their comfort zone. People don't buy airplanes because they are scared to take that risk. What happens if they can't rent out the airplane and make their payments? These are legitimate concerns, but if you are able to do proper research beforehand, your due diligence, you can actually mitigate most of these risks. Now, the previous examples I gave are examples of high risk, high stress opportunities that are out there that may not be practical for the vast majority of the people. So, what about an example for the rest of us? Simple. How many people out there love doing crafts or sewing or maybe do woodworking? Besides making a few things to give as gifts, how many of you make things to sell? I guarantee you there are very few that will actually say, I sell, even if it's just on special occasions. But why is this? Especially with all of the platforms out there that allow you to sell as independent sellers. You have Etsy, you have Amazon, Facebook Market, and even old school eBay, just to name a few, that will allow individuals to market and sell their items for a very small, if any, commission going to the platform. There are a number of payment options as well. Not only do several of these platforms offer the ability to accept payment on your behalf and then will transfer the money to your bank account later, but you have programs like Stripe for credit card payments, Venmo, Pay Now, and other mobile apps for person-to-person payment, or even PayPal for flexible, secure payments that people don't even need an account to use. While I understand some individuals may not understand the online market selling process, they know these platforms, but still do not recognize the opportunity because of their mindset. I know people who buy stuff off of Etsy and then say, I wish I knew how to make money off of my crafts just like these people are doing. When I hear this, I want to grab the person, shake them, and say, you're literally using the method that these people are making money off of. You just need to create your sales account and do a little bit of research on the process yourself. At the end of the day, the biggest thing you have to do is just overcome that mindset and take that first step. By taking that first step and saying you are ready to step out of your comfort zone and prepare to take a risk to start making extra money, you'll be surprised at the amount of opportunities that are out there, many of which you can take advantage of with little to no money out of your pocket. Small adjustments to your mindset can open a number of new opportunities for you. As you start seeing these opportunities appear and the success you have with them, the way you look at things continues to change, allowing for even more opportunities to present themselves. Is there a new technology that's coming out that could support your business or make you money? Do you have a talent that could help you make money if you could just reach the right market? Are you in a situation that you know presents a business opportunity, but do not quite know what that opportunity is? If this is you, visit our website and drop us a line. We just may have the answer you're looking for. We are here to support you and your efforts in achieving your goals of financial freedom. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast and are starting to look at things a bit differently, as there are opportunities everywhere for you to take advantage of. Well, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to listen, and as always, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review this episode. Until next time, have a great week ahead.